Hi, how are y'all doing? Well, I'm really excited to be inviting you to a master class that I'm teaching on unconditional love and why it's key to for you for ascension. And it's happening on January 28th. That's a Thursday at 12 noon. And I'm doing it at noon because I'm trying to reach more people around the world. So that will be 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 or 9 p.m. European time, depending on where you live. And then 7 a.m. on Friday morning for Australia. It will be recorded, so if you can't make it, um, They'll, if you sign up for it, a recording will be sent to you. And this is so important because it's everything that we all need. And I bet if I asked you guys, if said, do you feel any self-hatred towards yourself? Most of you would answer no. But then as I move on and I'll share with you, I'll show you how these are unconscious ways that we're self-hating ourselves. And self-hatred encompasses feeling inadequacies, guilt, low self-esteem, and believing that you're never going to be good enough. So I'm going to be covering topics of and sharing how you came across this, how you developed this self-hatred, and we're going to work on letting it go. I'm going to take you through some energy healings. I'm going to give you some tools to use that will help you start to transform that, because unconditionally loving yourself is key to your evolution, to your growth, to it's key for you for finding out and becoming the person that you came here to be, to express the true you out into the world, which all of us are looking for. And in you doing that, you're helping humanity become that way, and you're helping the collective conscious, and you're serving a big mission. And that is a lot of our missions, is to really know that we are love, that we come from love, and that we always have been love. But it's our programming in childhood that has conditioned us to act in certain ways and treat ourselves in certain ways that is not for our highest good or for the highest good of humanity. And so here's some of the topics that I'm going to be covering that I think will show you where your unconscious self-hatred might be lying. So, so one is fear of abandonment. So if you have any fear that you'll be left out, that you'll be left behind, or you'll be alone, you put others first, then you're not meeting your own needs, you're self-sacrificing, and no self-care, you're not asking for what you want and need and receiving it, then that is self-hatred. That you're doing things out of fear that keep you from really making choices in your life and putting yourself first, and not in a narcissistic way, but putting yourself first so that so that you are being your best, and that you interact with others and the world from this higher energy versus from this lower energy that keeps us enslaved and in this realm where we are feeling hopeless or disempowered, or not free to be ourselves. And your whole purpose, if you're waking up, is realizing that you haven't been yourself, and you're discovering who that is. And so this will help you do that. Also, if you're a perfectionist, perfectionism means you're highly critical and disappointed in yourself most of the time. You have very high expectations about what is expected from you, and this usually comes from being with a having a relative or a figure in your life that you really wanted attention from, and you weren't getting the attention you wanted, and so you kept thinking that you weren't enough. And if you would just change, if you would get better, if you would, if you were smarter, if you were prettier, if you were sexier, if you were, not as a child, but sometimes there's all different reasons, but it has you buying into you're not worthy, you're not enough, and so you treat yourself that way unconsciously, and you don't realize it. Looking for external support or approval. And that's what I mean. Support is the approval, validation that you are enough, that you are worthy. It's just telling yourself that you don't believe that in yourself. And really, self-love is knowing that you are that already. And again, during this process of this masterclass, I'm going to be sharing with you more deeply, how this all comes about and why, and how you came to believe these things about yourself, and then how you can change them. Another one for all you nurturers out there, because I know I'm talking to a lot of, all of you have big, big, big hearts, and you put all your love and energy out into other people, denying, self-sacrificing yourself. And again, it's because of this program you've been trained to be that way, and you get your validation from or your value from nurturing others, taking care of others, because then they can't leave you, and then they need you, and you need them. So it becomes a codependent relationship that's not really healthy, and you don't have boundaries. So if you're somebody who doesn't have boundaries, and you're always doing for others, and you're always feeling disappointed that nobody does for you, then this is a class that you want to come to. If you're denying yourself pleasure, fun, joy, sensuality, sexuality, in order of work, again, that is not taking care of yourself, and that is a form of denial, is a form of self-hatred. That you've got to accomplish something before you can have something. You've got to show your worthiness, your value, that you're enough in order to have something that really would bring you much joy and pleasure. You allow others to abuse you. That's another way. Addictive behaviors like drama, chaos, violence, confusion, eating, gambling, sex, etc. Those are ways, besides numbing and an addiction in the brain, but habitual behaviors like this, addictive behaviors, are trying to numb out those negative self-hatred feelings you have for yourself. And so this can all be overcome. A lack of attention to your soul, to your needs, to your wants, to your desires, to your internal connection to yourself, to nature, to source, and to others. So that is a way of hurting yourself. So in this workshop, what we're going to do, you're going to learn to cultivate higher self-esteem and more unconditional love. We're going to do some energy healing and release traumas, fears, energy blocks. You're going to connect to your higher energies and to raise your vibration and energize your life force energy that wants to be expressed. When you're holding this down and your self-hatred and stuff, you are repressing. You're a slave to what happens out here versus you being in control and free and expressing who you really want to be, who you're here, what you're here to do. And self-compassion and forgiveness. So I'm going to give you some tools that you can use to start doing this work. We're going to have question and answers. So you can, there's, coaching bring your questions, bring your questions. Hopefully I can answer them, and we can have a good discussion on all of this, and help you create a clear, easier path to your ascension, to your evolution. And so you can really start to express who you are and what really matters to you, and live your purpose or your mission. So, and then also in that class, I'm going to share with you how you can do this with me for in a course I have that's called Higher Dimensional Living, which will be starting later. But I'll give you a little introduction to that, and so we can go all into a lot of these things in greater depth. But I look forward, so sign up. Like I said, get the recording. I go to the roots of the problem. So you're going to get to see and, different things that I'm sure you're not hearing from a lot of other people. And then also we're going to do some fabulous energy work that I love to do, and I know people love to experience them. And I look forward to having you on the call and meeting you and helping you fall more deeply in love with yourself. Until we meet again, love, live, and matter.